Now, for this week, these are your top hot headlines. The Mexican community of Edmonton leads the Day of the Dead celebration. A judge says no to the discrimination of a black tenant. Alberta slaps new public health measures as COVID-19 cases go on a rise. And Dr. Abu Conte adds his voice to the growing COVID-19 numbers in the Creole language. And now, back to Rhea with the details of this week's news.
Welcome to Diversity TV. We're here at the location of Kingsway Mall, and we're here at the Altar de Mortis exhibit, which is sponsored by the Mexican Society of Edmonton. I'm joined by my co-host, Harriet Tinka. Harriet, how are you feeling?
Oh, I feel super excited. I can't wait for Halloween. I'm looking forward to seeing the little trick-or-treaters who happen to come out and join us, because some of the children will not be doing trick-or-treating because of COVID-19. But I will be at home ready for any of the trick-or-treaters to come, and I will be ready to spook them. Social distancing, of course.
Social distancing.
Yes.
The Mexican Society of Edmonton celebrates the Day of the Dead by erecting a colourful altar here at Kingsway Mall, where we're at the location at. The Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday celebrated in Mexico and elsewhere, associated to the Catholic celebrations of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. This multi-holiday involves family, friends, gathering to pray for and remember friends and families who have died.
The Day of the Dead is a celebration that holds a significant tradition in the life of Mexicans' indigenous communities, because it's a fusion between what it was then and what the settlers brought in with them. This year we're honored to have the partnership of the Kingsway Mall to be able to host our altar at their location. This past Sunday we had a lot of people from the community coming in different times, respecting COVID restrictions, to set up all this beautiful altar, and it's gonna be available for everybody to see it until November the 5th. People can still participate with us, bringing things and items that honor and the memory of a loved one. They just need to get in contact with us through our email at info@mexicansocietyedmonton.org. People can also make donations, and if they visit the mall and take a picture with the altar, they can enter to win a $100 gift card from the mall.
A discriminatory landlord refused by a judge to evict a black tenant. A Toronto-based restaurant, Elias Restaurant Tavern, won an eviction case centered on the fact that the landlord and management of Keele Sheppard Plaza at 3310 Keele Street, Northwest Toronto, wanted a new tenant who would somehow be more suitable to the shopping plaza, even after bumping the rates up to 125%. Some people say that this has connotations of racial undertones and discrimination. The 1,500 square foot Elias restaurant has had $150,000 invested in the space since 2013 with a 5-year lease and with an option to extend for an additional 5-year terms. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic hitting hard on the restaurant industry, the restaurant never missed a rent, running only on takeout. A new tenant, a doctor's office, would offer less than the restaurant's current rent and substantially less than $7,500 per month that the restaurant pays.
The Central Alberta Immigrant Women's Association, also known as KIWA, opens a new building in Red Deer on November 1st, 2020. Executive Director Halima Ali took the organization in 2015 when it was about to shut down, and has taken it to 2 locations: a new 2-story building, a conference room, a community kitchen to support women with multicultural communities build a successful lives in Red Deer.
I remember when I joined this organization, we had only a small little room and without even windows. Then from there, the organization, we started actually And our rent, even at that time, it was $175, and we didn't have even that $175 when I joined KIWA, the organization, the Central Alberta Immigrant Women's Association, that in abbreviation is KIWA. We didn't have even that $175, and we were looking about how we can have the $175 to pay for the rent. And imagine now, after 15 years now, we are having voila, our own building, a 2-story building. We own that building, and we're going to move on November 1st.
Traffic court gives the red light to in-person appearances, defendants, witnesses, to access court services remotely to prevent the COVID-19 spread. In response to rising case counts of COVID-19 across the province, Alberta's court system is asking people to hit the brakes if they're thinking of heading to a courthouse to deal with a traffic ticket. The Office of the Chief Judge has released revised guidelines for traffic court, which requires all parties to communicate by phone or by email with applicable courthouse. All traffic fines has to be paid online without a service fee. And this can be done on this website, www.finealberta.ca. Those who must deal with the courts should be doing so by phone, mail, or email until they're advised to do so or attend in person. New public health measures are in place for the cities of Edmonton and Calgary to help prevent the spread of the COVID-19.
I am announcing new public health measures for the cities of Edmonton and Calgary to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Effective immediately, we are implementing a mandatory 15-person limit on all social gatherings in Edmonton and Calgary. This limit applies to gatherings where people are mixing and mingling, such as dinner parties, birthday parties, social events, and wedding and funeral receptions. It also applies to special event celebrations like retirement events, baby showers, and other social gatherings. This limit does not change the measures currently in place for events that are structured, such as ordinary dining in restaurants, theaters, worship services, or wedding and funeral ceremonies. However, it would apply to gatherings that may occur before or after these events, such as wedding receptions or a social event at a restaurant or another site.
In Diversity TV International news, 7 children were brutally murdered and many more injured at the Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy in the southwestern city of Kumba, Cameroon. The atrocities are blamed on the English-speaking secessionist fighters who have been fighting for independence from French-speaking Cameroon. Diversity TV profiles. Mitali Berger shares her artistic journey, showcasing her works as well as leading the Edmonton Multicultural Association.
I am currently the acting executive director for Edmonton Multicultural Coalition. And to talk about my art, I have been doing watercolors, acrylics, and oils, but lately I just got into doing acrylics and a specific kind of art which is called mandala.
As France enters into another COVID-19 lockdown, 3 people were killed in the French city of Nice on October 29, 2020. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama at Canada strongly condemns the terror attack that took place in Nice on the French church. The murder and beheading of Samuel Paty and the attack in Nice must be condemned in the strongest possible terms. Such grievous attacks are completely against the teachings of Islam. Our religion, the Jama said, does not permit terrorism or extremism under any circumstances, and anyone who claims otherwise acts against the teachings of the Holy Quran and contrary to the noble character of the Holy Prophet of Islam. This comes after Samuel Paty, the cartoonist, drew images of the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad. As the U.S. election goes into its closing days early next week, here are selections of clips by the Democrats and Republicans that we have selected for you.
We vote him away. Vote him away, 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 vote him away. In the White House, the frightened her tweets tonight.
Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come.
And now let me leave you with this. Due to the rise in COVID-19 cases in Alberta, we asked Dr. Abu Conte, president of the Sierra Leone community in Edmonton, to caution the community in Creole language spoken in most of West Africa.
By now, we all know the guidelines better one. Dua, onale we follow them advice here. Just so remind una, the key point na the guidelines na the following. Una make sure say dua una wash una hand fast. Una try make una not dey touch una face, nose and mouth unnecessarily. Use your mask whenever you're in a public or within your person. If you expose yourself to somebody who you know say don't get COVID or suspected symptoms of COVID, do na for good test. If we all do our own part, we certainly be able to beat this disease. One time more, I advise we all, now take precaution and support ourselves better one as we all struggle through this COVID period.
Thank you for watching Diversity TV Community Newscast. This has been your host, Teresa Empar
and Harriet Tinker. And if you're new to the television, make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss any moment when the new show comes up. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So hope to see you next week.